The last adventure. When the final university exams were over, Matteo, Giulia, and Alessandro realized that life was about to change. Within a few weeks, Matteo would begin working as an engineer in Milan. Giulia had accepted a position in a publishing company in Rome, and Alessandro was preparing to start a master's degree abroad. For years, they had studied together, celebrated together, and survived countless late-night study sessions. Now they were about to follow different paths. "We need one last adventure," Alessandro said. Giulia smiled. "I already know where." She unfolded a map. New Zealand. None of them had ever travelled so far from home. 3 weeks later, they landed in Auckland after one of the longest flights of their lives. The city welcomed them with sparkling harbours, green volcanic hills, and a relaxed atmosphere that immediately felt different from the busy Italian cities they knew. After exploring Auckland for 2 days, they rented a camper van. "It feels like our home has wheels," Matteo laughed. Their journey soon took them south through rolling green hills dotted with thousands of sheep. "It looks exactly like the postcards," Giulia said. "No," Alessandro replied. "It looks even better." Their first unforgettable stop was Hobbiton. Although none of them considered themselves huge film fans, they were fascinated by the tiny, colourful doors, peaceful gardens, and green hills that had become famous around the world. "Our childhood suddenly feels very close again," Giulia said. The following day, they visited the geothermal area of Rotorua. Steam rose from the ground, bubbling mud pools produced strange sounds, and the air carried the unmistakable smell of sulphur. "It's like another planet," Matteo whispered. A Maori guide welcomed their group and explained how geothermal activity had shaped the region for thousands of years. She also spoke about Maori traditions, their deep respect for nature, and the importance of protecting the land for future generations. That evening, the three friends attended a traditional cultural performance. They watched the powerful haka, listened to ancient songs, and shared a meal cooked using traditional methods. "It isn't just a performance," Giulia said afterwards. "It's a way of keeping history alive." Several days later, they crossed to the South Island. Driving through Aoraki/Mount Cook National Park, they found themselves surrounded by snow-covered mountains, turquoise lakes, and glaciers. Every viewpoint seemed more spectacular than the previous one. They stopped so often that a journey planned for 3 hours lasted almost 6. "No complaints," Matteo said. "This might be the most beautiful road I've ever travelled." In Queenstown, they discovered why the town is known as New Zealand's adventure capital. Alessandro wanted to try bungee jumping immediately. Matteo looked down at the bridge. "I'll happily watch," Giulia laughed. "I'll stand beside Matteo." Alessandro jumped alone. When he reached the bottom of the rope, his scream turned into laughter. Back on the bridge, he looked at his friends. "You'll regret not doing it." "Maybe," Matteo replied, "but not today." The following morning, they chose an activity everyone could enjoy together. They kayaked across the calm waters of Milford Sound. Towering cliffs rose almost vertically from the sea, while waterfalls flowed down the mountains after a morning shower. A group of playful dolphins appeared beside their kayaks. For several minutes, they swam alongside them before disappearing beneath the water. Nobody spoke. Nobody needed to. Some experiences could not be improved with words. On their final evening, they camped beside Lake Pukaki. The lake reflected Aoraki/Mount Cook, New Zealand's highest mountain. While the last sunlight painted the sky orange and pink, they prepared dinner together outside the camper van. As darkness slowly arrived, Alessandro asked, "What do you think we'll remember most?" "The dolphins," Matteo answered. "Hobbiton," Giulia said. "The haka," Alessandro replied. They laughed. 3 different answers, just like 3 different futures. After a few moments of silence, Giulia looked towards the mountains. "Do you think we'll still travel together in 10 years? Matteo smiled. "I hope so." Alessandro picked up a small stone from the lakeshore. "Let's make a promise." Each of them chose a smooth white stone. "If we ever stop making time for adventures, we'll remember tonight." The next morning, before leaving, they placed the 3 stones back where they had found them. Some memories, they decided, should stay exactly where they were created. Back in Italy, life quickly became busy. New jobs, new cities, new responsibilities. Yet whenever one of them felt overwhelmed, a simple message would appear in their group chat. A photograph of a lake, a mountain, or sometimes just 3 white stones. No explanation was ever necessary. They all knew exactly what it meant. New Zealand had given them breathtaking landscapes, unforgettable adventures, and fascinating traditions. But above all, it had reminded them that while life moves forward, true friendships can travel any distance.
Every story is a new journey, and every journey is a new opportunity to improve your English. Discover all 7 stories in Short Travel Stories in English, Volume 2, available now on Amazon. Enjoy engaging adventures while expanding your vocabulary, mastering useful collocations, practicing grammar, and reinforcing your learning with exercises and answer keys. Thank you for listening. See you on the next journey.